Ustad is really choppy.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه الطاهرين ما دام ما في السماوات والأرض رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. كيف حالكم؟ بخير؟ ما شاء الله. Everybody well, inshallah? MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah, all thanks and praise due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for affording us this opportunity that every Sunday we are able to gather to not only read the book of Allah, but more importantly, or rather equally important, to understand the intent of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And perhaps at this juncture, defining tafsir would be important. What is tafsir? Using Quran to explain Quran, that's great, but that's an instrument of tafsir. You see, one verse explains the other verse. Okay, so tafsir literally means tafsir, which is an explanation. So one of the primary modes of explaining Quran is that Quran explains itself. Am I understanding correctly? So for example, you find that Allah says, Alif Lam Ra, Kitabun Uhkimat Ayatuhu, ثم فصلت بالذي حكيم خبير. Allah talks about the verses being revealed, and in those very verses which are revealed, it's explained. So you know, so Allah gives you something like in a brief form, and Allah expounds upon it. So that's a mode of tafsir. But what is tafsir in and of itself? Analysis. So to analyze. Okay, the Arabic word, I always take it back to Arabic. Arabic is tahleel. So tahleel is you analyze. If I look at analyzing, it's a process. Would you agree with me? You analyze, so that's a process. But the process leads to an outcome. What I'm actually asking about is, what is the purpose? What is it? So you analyze for what purpose? To understand. To understand what? The word of Allah. Think about what you're saying, because what you're saying is very profound. So you come into a class, the class is called tafsir. What is tafsir all about? You sit analyzing the words of Allah to understand the intent of Allah. In Arabic, that is referred to as ilmun yubahathu an muradillah. It is that knowledge which seeks to study the intent of Allah. So if I can put it maybe in other terms, you know, is it what you understand from Quran, or what Allah seeks to convey? What Allah seeks to convey? What is Allah's intent? In other words, the storyline here is not my storyline. It's Allah's storyline. And many times we say, but you know, this is very profound because I understand this. You understand maybe correct, but you understand maybe incorrect, because that's not what Allah is intending. So the intent of Allah. Allah has words, and by means of these words, He conveys His intent, and that's what we want to understand. So Allah is going to talk about a number of things. And in today's chapter that we're starting off, the fact that we're starting another chapter, it's as profound as every other chapter. And our methodology here is going to be our stock standard methodology. We're going to run through it very quickly, and then we'll take it from there, inshallah. Okay.
How do you identify someone on things? Like you say Allah is in thing. How do you know what Allah is in thing means? Really the reason is through the explanations of the Prophet and how he explained it?
So that's a very good question. How do you unearth the intent of Allah? How do you how do you unearth the intent of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Bismillah. No, I'm not confused. Astaghfirullah. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. Tawbah. No, not at all, Habibi. Maybe on other Sundays, but today, no. So, from your perspective, this adds a certain degree of complexity, but the answer will resolve, all of that. So, who has an answer for the question? How do we unearth the intent of Allah? Like, what is Allah saying? You contemplate about the verses, okay? Contemplation. Maybe if you want to go back to what is Quran? If you look at Quran, what is Quran? Allah's speech. Let's start from there. Cookies on? Oh yeah, of course, got the box here. So, very quickly, not to take much of your time, but it's important because you hear every Sunday and you're wanting to know what the intent of Allah subhanahu is. And those are very important questions, and from yourself, Takathur, in terms of its relevance. These are relevant things. Because, Quran, if you talk about 120,000 meanings of each verse, so okay, you take the one meaning, I take the other meaning. You know what I'm saying? Then Quran becomes a very relative and very subjective book in terms of its understanding. And we would agree axiomatically that that's not the intent. Because then the meaning that works for you doesn't work for me. So I'll take an alternate meaning. So we understand the problem. In academic circles, when you adopt a certain view, sometimes to renounce that view, they talk about, and this is an academic term, the absurdity that it leads to. So in other words, the view then becomes absurd. That's not, don't mean it literally, I just mean it in terms of academics. Wallahu a'lam. So what is the Quran? They say the Quran is the speech of Allah. Maybe I can just explain to you the speech of Allah. The speech of Allah. In Arabic, like you pointed out, it says Kalamullah. Kalamullah. So when we look at Allah, one of the qualities of Allah is that Allah has the quality of Kalam. You with me? So if you, like in our Cape Town tradition, and this is like a science which we actually need to revisit, it's the science of like theology. So what do they talk about the qualities of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? What do they say about Allah? فالله موجود قديم باق مخالف للخلق بالإطلاق قائم غني واحد وحي قادر مريد عالم بكل شيء. Now it comes له صفات سبعة تنتظم قدرة إرادة سمع بصر حياة العلم كلام استمر. Allah has this quality, it's called kalam, speech. But the speech of Allah is different from our speech. So when we look, cut a long story short, when we look at the speech of Allah, we talk about two types of speech. One is speech in terms of the spoken word. Like, I'm speaking to you now, that's a spoken word. Okay? But remember now we're talking about the speech of Allah. When we talk about the speech of Allah, tell me Allah is an ancient being, or the opposite of ancient is new, ancient and new, antiquity. Allah is an ancient being. So if Allah is an ancient being, in other words, Allah existed in eternity. And Allah will always exist in eternity. That's the essence of Allah. Then Allah has qualities. The qualities of Allah are exactly the same. They exist in antiquity and they will always exist. So when we talk about this particular quality of Allah, we talk about what we refer to kalam nafsi. You know this, like you want to say something, but it is contained within. When you utter it, it becomes the spoken word. But before it becomes the spoken word, it is speech within you. You follow me? Right? So now, if you have an idea, let's call it an idea, for lack of a better term, you have an idea, right, which is not concrete. When you concretize that, you say it. So the idea becomes concrete through your expressing it. You follow me? Now, when we talk about the speech of Allah, we're talking about that quality that exists within the being of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And through that quality, Allah conveys His intent. You follow me? So now when Allah wants us to concretize that, what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do? He creates like a spoken word, which in our instance is in the form of the Quran. So number one is, how do we understand the intent of Allah? The intent of Allah is something which subsists within the being of Allah. You understand that? Like you have an idea. And then Allah expresses this idea through His speech. Now when we look at the speech, you see that like 120,000 meanings to each verse. Up to. So when we look at any speech, particularly in Quran, and that is something which sort of like eludes us many times. When you look at a spoken word, when you look at the Quran in particular, the word the intent is either literal or metaphorical. As a ground rule, when Allah says something, is the intent metaphorical or literal? Literal. You must understand that. Because if it was metaphorical, then it lends itself to the 120,000 odd. By default. So by default, the Quran is a literal work. You with me? So, for example, what does Allah tell you? Do not go close to fornication and adultery. What does Allah mean there? Literally, or is there some other metaphorical meaning to it? No, it's meant very literally. You follow? And then when Allah wants to add a legal meaning to a term, Allah reconstructs the word, gives it a legal term, and then Allah employs it in that particular manner. So by and large, the intent of Allah is very clear. I'll give you an example. The word salah, what does it mean? Salah actually means literally dua, to supplicate. So you can then look at the word literally when Allah tells you establish the salah, that you must supplicate 5 times a day. But what does the Prophet ﷺ do? He takes the term salah, gives it a legal meaning, and then Allah and His Messenger uses that word in that legal meaning throughout Quran. So what does it mean now? You must pray 5 times a day. What does pray 5 times a day mean? Prayer means that act of worship which starts with Allahu Akbar and which ends with Assalamu Alaikum, Assalamu Alaikum. So in the broad strokes, the intent of Allah by and large is very clear. Because Allah has a meaning, Allah conveys that meaning through speech very much like you and I do. Right? Therefore sometimes in speech we have a challenge, don't we? Because you tell something to somebody, they follow up, but that's not what I meant. So that's a discrepancy. But that's why the Quran in terms of its language, there's so much emphasis on the language of the Quran, because it's abundantly clear. The reason why you and I can't unearth the intent is because we lack grounding in terms of the language, and then we sometimes misunderstand. You with me? But the Quran as a book of guidance is very clear. So you could, and you'd be correct in saying it's by and large a literal work, therefore the intent is very clear. Like for example, life after death is a concept spoken about in the Quran. You know, life after death, you can't reinterpret it as reincarnation. Because Allah is very clear in terms of its wording. what he actually means thereby. The only time, and there's many instances like in every other language, you do move away from the literal intent, but you must have a proof. Because the default is that there's class every Sunday. Right? So if you didn't receive a message, is there class or no class? There's class. So you will only understand it not to be class when you get a message. Otherwise the default is that there's class. Likewise, in terms of Quran, the intent is literal. Unless in that instance there's a proof which tells you that. So for example, in Quran Allah says, وَاسْأَلُوا الْقَرْيَةَ, ask the village. Can you ask the village? So what does it mean? Ask the people of the village. So you understand that though you've already constructed in your mind like that, but from Quranic terms it's actually a move away from the literal meaning, because the literal meaning doesn't make sense. So therefore you have to understand it metaphorically. And majaz in Arabic works very different. You can take out a word and then So only when you have a proof can you understand the Quran metaphorically. Otherwise the Quran is a literal word, and that makes it easy to understand. You with me? So this, these are important, very important discussions I think that needs to be had, so that we can really understand. Look here, what is it that we actually come together for every Sunday? It's to unearth the intent of Allah, which is fairly clear, while at the same time understanding what Imam Ghazali Rahimahullah says in that one verse. You can look at it from different perspectives, and then you get to have different meanings, not because the meaning is unclear, but the perspective changes. And once you start looking at things from different perspectives, the full meaning is still valid and clear, but the perspectives gives you a plethora of different meanings, but doesn't change the core meaning. That's very important to understand. And in terms of Islamic academics, there's a difference between what they refer to as aqwal, which means different opinions, and i'tibarat, different perspectives. So there's room for perspectives, and it adds like meaning to a verse, but the core meaning will still remain intact, right? No one knows best. This conversation that we're having here today is really unique because before we came into class I was discussing with the Ruish just about some of the dynamics in terms of understanding the word of Allah. These are important understandings to have, right, in relation to our Quran. Allah grant us the understanding, and that we are able to read the intent of Allah, understand it, and reify it in our lives. Bi-idhnillah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What can I do?